This is the weekly sales meeting for March 24th, 2024. My name is Chris Fleming. You can reach me at chris@cdmediaconsulting.com or go to our website at cdmediaconsulting.com. Today's topic, persuasion. In the dance of human interaction, there is a fine line between persuasion and manipulation. It serves as the fulcrum upon which trust balances. Both wield the power to sway minds. It is how we can nudge decisions. Yet one is a powerful tool of experienced sellers, and the other is a weapon used to separate fools from their money. Persuasion crafts its conversation upon the loom of reason and empathy. It honors the autonomy of the individual. It invites them to take the journey on a trail already provided. It is a willing and shared path of human emotion. It operates in the realm of transparency. It shows itself and its intentions without guile or subterfuge. True persuasion engages in dialogue, fostering a symbiotic exchange. Both parties emerge enriched. The converse is manipulation. It is the wily serpent in the garden of sales conversations. It coils itself around vulnerability and ignorance. It is the art of deception, yet it is cloaked in goodwill, and it conceals ulterior motives beneath its honeyed words. Manipulation seeks not consensus but control. It is the tool of the puppeteer, pulling strings in the shadow of deceit. It preys upon the insecurities and fears of its victims, and they are exploited for personal gain. The dichotomy between persuasion and manipulation lies not in their outcomes, it lies in their ethical foundations. Persuasion uplifts, it empowers individuals to make the choices they might be afraid to make. That is, without proper guidance and reassurance. But manipulation ensnares. It traps those of weak constitutions. The trap is making decisions that are not good for them. To navigate this maze of influence, one must tread with discrimination and taste. For the line between the two is as fleeting as it is reflective. The principles of persuasion are often referred to as the 6 principles of influence. These were introduced by psychologist Robert Cialdini in his 1981 book, Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion. These principles provide insights into how people can be influenced to make decisions. I'm sure you will be able to tell how these principles can be harnessed for both good and evil. I am equally confident you can envision a modern-day example of each method and how it gets used. The first principle is reciprocity. It is based on the concept of mutual exchange. When someone does something for us, we often feel a natural inclination to respond in kind. Offering something of value or favor can create a sense of obligation in the other person. It is an action combined with an equal reaction. If I were to say thank you to you, you might respond with you're welcome. This is reciprocity. It is the idea that people as a whole will respond in kind. Reciprocity means we pay someone back when they do us a favor. We may give before we get, but on the back end, there's an expectation of the get. It is the human nature we were brought up to believe in. Someone who receives a gift will feel a twinge of guilt or shame if they do not return the favor. We will see free samples in the grocery store or free offers for content on a website. By giving something to start the relationship, we want to create a web of indebtedness. That web ensures the favor may be returned. It is why your watron, which is the gender-neutral term for waiter or waitress, will leave a note on your bill or a mint on your check. It is to create an environment for you to feel a sense of obligation. They are betting you will reciprocate with a gratuity, and it will be higher than if they had not left the gift. Reciprocity taps into the idea that we were all raised in a polite society. It does not account for the wholly selfish. Up next is the principle of commitment and consistency. People have a psychological desire to be consistent with their past commitments. They want to be true to their words with their actions. Once someone makes a public commitment, they are more likely to remain consistent with that choice. They tend to double down on that choice. They will even make a stand that their choice is more right than any other choice to be made. It underscores the power of obtaining initial voluntary commitments. Start by asking for small commitments that align with larger goals. This is a linear process. It's best used in the same setting. Once individuals make a small commitment, they are more likely to continue down this path. It is their choice. For example, seeking newsletter signups, social media follows, or participation in surveys can lead to higher brand usage. The principle of consistency means that people are motivated towards cognitive uniformity. It means the more consistent they are, the more it will affect their attitudes. It will shape their beliefs. It may even cloud their perceptions. The more consistent they are, the more they will strive to achieve this consistency. For example, imagine someone in sales asking the prospect questions. Each question is designed to get the prospect to say yes. The more the prospect says yes, the more consistent they are in that pattern. The more they say yes, the more they believe that yes is the right answer. I will use this in the presentation phase by pausing from time to time to ask my customer if that makes sense. The typical answer is yes. If yes, then I proceed. If not, I explain, ask again, and then proceed. By the time I reach the end of the process, the customer has said yes to me so many times. The next ask is a foregone conclusion. It is both consistent and the next logical outcome. Let's look at social proof, or what I like to refer to as peer validation. Few humans like to operate unilaterally. We all like to think we are doing the right thing, so there will be hundreds, if not thousands, of people doing what we do. We are, in essence, social beings. We look to others for guidance and affirmation. Validation from others releases the dopamine drip in our brains. It is especially useful when we start our choice journey from a position of uncertainty. In the electronic age of social media, this is even more evident. We look for social proof and peer validation to make a variety of decisions. We never once think for even a minute that crowdsourcing answers are anything less than authentic. If it is on the internet, it must be true. Testimonials and statistics that show others engaging in a particular behavior can be persuasive. This peer feedback is a powerful tool in decision-making. Customer reviews, especially when they come from known and trusted persons, help build credibility. Success stories and case studies reassure buyers, and the more of them you have that echo a similar sentiment, the more powerful they are. When we go to make a product decision, we like to know that others before us have made a similar decision, and we like to know that choice delivered on the promise. We also like people in positions of authority. They are experts, so they should be trusted. People are more likely to be persuaded by those who are perceived as experts. Demonstrating expertise and credentials or associating with credible sources can enhance persuasive influence. The principle of authority taps into this idea. Individuals trust and follow those who seem knowledgeable and credible. Highlight your expertise. Highlight the industry certifications or advanced training. Above all, take part in earning these certifications. Attend these trainings. Offer to share your expertise with your customers. When you learn something new, practice it, present it. Let others know how it works and how they can make it work for them. Never give up the high ground. Let your customers know that you are the one with the authority to help them. As soon as you give up that authority, your customer has no reason to deal with you. When I have a question posed to me that I know requires a higher authority to answer, I never give up the high ground. I want my customers reassured that I am the person to deal with all issues. I will buy myself some time and say, let me think about that for a bit and get back to you. This allows me the time to check with the higher authority. That is, without giving up my higher authority, which I have already earned. The principle of liking states that we are more likely to do business with people we perceive to be like us. It means we like them. Shared interests can determine this, but it is different for men and women. Two men may bond over a challenge, while two women may bond over a common like-minded interest. Because men and women behave differently, we are usually good with people of the same sex, but we can struggle with the opposite sex as we think everyone is like us, when in fact the opposite may be true. Cialdini emphasizes that individuals are more likely to say yes to people they know and like, and even more so to those who like what they like. Establish a genuine connection with prospects. Find common ground. Be empathetic and understanding. People are more likely to buy from someone they like. Invest time in relationship building during the sales process. We are influenced by likable people. We like authority. We like what feels real to us. And that reality is often created by the perception of shared or similar interests. The more real and similar someone is to us, the more we are influenced by them. And this is even more so when we look at lifestyle groups. The scarcity principle is based on the idea that people place a higher value on things that are perceived as scarce. The more limited the supply, the higher the demand. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, drives individuals to take action when they believe an opportunity is rare or exclusive. Creating a sense of urgency and emphasizing limited availability can leverage this principle in persuasion. It is up to us to make our offers limited and scarce. We can do this with timed offers or exclusive benefits. These help people decide with greater speed. You have seen it in advertising. Use it in your sales material. When I do this, it is with pricing. I always have an expiring lower price. It will be replaced by a much higher regular price the next time I see the customer. I want to emphasize acting now. Few people will have the same urgency you have, but we can create that sense when the offer seems less available. The anytime offer has less appeal. We are influenced by products that say only 3 remaining. We don't want to miss out. We have a greater desire to buy that product. This is also something we like to call FOMO, or fear of missing out. We don't want to miss out on what everyone is buying. We want to belong to that exclusive club. It can override the initial reluctance to buy and get people to move a lot faster than normal. It is important to note that these principles are not mutually exclusive. They often work together to influence behavior. In fact, in the same sales call, you may use all of them. You may use 1 or 2, but practice using these principles will help you lead your prospect to water. What is more, they will willingly take a drink. When it is influence, you are supplying the nudge necessary to give your prospect the confidence needed to make a decision. This is something they are going to do, but need to work up to this decision. You can help them get there. If it is manipulation, you will push them to do it, often with force, and then it becomes uncomfortable. Remember, ethical considerations are crucial in sales. The goal is to persuade and influence, ensuring the prospect's needs and interests are addressed. By incorporating these principles, you can enhance your sales effectiveness. You will build long-term relationships with customers. If not, you will become the worst personification of the sales profession. You are using the powers of persuasion to manipulate people. If that is the case, you may want to switch to politics. And then you have answered your own question. You now know whether it is persuasion or manipulation. My new book, 52 Weekly Sales Meetings, is now available on Amazon.com. If you like what you have heard here today, please consider ordering a copy or 2. You can always send one to a friend. Go to cdmediaconsulting.com right now and follow the instructions to order.